Don't you hate that? An idea flashes across your mind, feels so sharp, so clear, and you say to yourself, I'll remember that one. That's genius. How could I forget it? And then, a half hour later, gone, like it never happened. That's the mystery of the mind. It can give you brilliance in a moment, then take it back just as quick. See, ideas are like little gifts. They're whispers. They don't come with a guarantee. They don't hang around long, waiting for you to get ready. They show up, and if you don't capture them, they're gone. And here's the tragedy. Sometimes those ideas could have been worth a fortune. Could have been the seed that changed your business, changed your health, changed your relationships. But because you didn't write it down, you lost it. Think of it this way. Life gives all of us chances, opportunities. A word we overhear, a line in a book, a moment in conversation. And the person who learns to seize it, to hold it, to put it where they can return to it later, that's the person who rises. That's the person who builds wealth, who builds character, who builds a future. Now, why do so many miss it? Because they think ideas are casual. They say if it's important, they'll remember. But listen, the human mind is busy. It's juggling bills, problems, chores, conversations. An idea comes floating through like a feather in the wind. If you don't catch it, the wind carries it off. And tomorrow, you're left with nothing but a faint feeling that you were about to think of something good. I was poor when I met Mr. Schoaf. Broke, clueless, but I had a hunger to change. And he told me to start capturing ideas. He didn't say to wait until I was rich. He didn't say to wait until I knew what to do with them. He said to start now. So I did. I bought myself a little notebook. Cost me less than $1. And that notebook became the beginning of my library. Over the years, I filled journal after journal. Notes from books, notes from seminars, my own reflections. And sometimes I'd go back months later and read a line I'd written and look at that. There's the answer I've been looking for. You know, sometimes you don't see the full value of an idea the day you catch it. Sometimes it needs time, like seeds in a jar. But if you don't put them in the jar, you won't have anything to plant when the season comes. The reason most people live ordinary lives is not lack of intelligence. It's not even lack of opportunity. It's lack of captured ideas. Imagine what your life would look like if you had saved every good idea that ever crossed your mind in the last 10 years. Every insight from a conversation, every flash of inspiration. What would that pile look like today? You can't change the past, but you can start today.
I'm doing great. Appreciate you having me. Listened to this show for a long time, so it feels surreal to be on here. My name is Luke Boddy, B-O-D-D-Y. So I always say it's B-O to the double D-Y, yo. And my company is called Concrete Block Supply.
And I'm not asking you to share about your financial numbers, but I think it's safe to say you've had exponential growth. Maybe that's a safe way to say it. You've had exponential growth. Is that a safe way to describe the growth that you've had there at Concrete Block Supply?
Yeah, we've done pretty well. Yeah, we've been working together almost 4 years. So it was something that, just listening to your show, I probably listened to 1,000 of your podcasts, and it was like, hey, as soon as we get going, I'm going to bring these guys on. It seems like a great fit and will be perfect for us. So we did build just like a cheaper website to get proof of concept, get it going. And then 6 months into it, that's when we hired you guys. So it was like December of 2021.
Folks, there are a million ways to make $1 million. There's a million ways. And on the Thrivetime show, we interview, like the founder of Hobby Lobby, or we'll interview the founder of FUBU, or the founder of Netflix. I mean, we've interviewed Wolfgang Puck, and we interview these people. And although they've had massive success today, I like to catch them and interview them about how they got started, how they went from the bottom to the top. I love to hear their origin stories. And sometimes I like to interview entrepreneurs that maybe aren't as well known, but their businesses are really booming. They're really putting in the effort to grow a company. And so on today's show, I want to share with you a story about a company called binblocksupply.com. Now, you're going to want to put that into your smartphone. You're going to want to put that onto your web browser. That's binblocksupply.com. You want to go there, binblocksupply.com, because today's guest has built a multi-million-dollar company. Again, binblocksupply.com. And if you're out there today and you say, I too want to build a super successful company, I believe that this story, this gentleman here has the capacity and the tenacity needed to get you mentally out of your gridlock and get you fired up that you can actually do it. And with that being said, Luke, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you having me. Listened to this show for a long time, so it feels surreal to be on here.
Okay, well, I got to ask you first off, there's a lot of holograms, a lot of AI, a lot of scamackery, jackassery out there. Can you tell us your first and last name, and what's the name of your company?
My name is Luke Boddy, Boddy. So I always say it's BO to the double DY, yo. And my company is called Concrete Block Supply.
Now, for people out there that are maybe new to entrepreneurship, I think a lot of people think they have to have this revolutionary idea. They have to be the first into the marketplace. They have to have a ton of connections. They have to have, maybe they're too young, they're too old to get started. People always feel like maybe success isn't for me. Tell us your story, Luke. When did you start this company?
Yeah. So I'll go back just a little bit further. I did sales for a steel building company for like 15 years. And then my friends owned a precast concrete company, and they're building a new production facility, and they wanted someone to run their company while they were doing that. And so I came on with them, and I felt really underqualified to run their company. It just wasn't something I had done in the past. And so I just started binging like books, podcasts, everything I could possibly think of to better myself and get better quicker and faster. And so we ended up 4Xing that company that was 80 years old in 4 years. And I think that was just implementing a lot of the things that I had listened to on your show. And about 2 years into that, I teamed up with the owners of that company to start this one. I've been doing it for almost 5 years now.
Now, when did we first start working with you? Because I believe that, when we first connected, I remember talking to you, and I remember going,
Yeah.
This idea is going to work. Like when you explained it to me, I knew it was going to work. Do you remember when we first connected?
Yeah, we've been working together almost 4 years. So it was something that, just listening to your show, I probably listened to, 1,000 of your podcasts. And it was like, hey, as soon as we get going, I'm going to bring these guys on. It seems like a great fit and will be perfect for us. So we did build just like a cheaper website to like get proof of concept, get it going. And then 6 months into it, that's when we hired you guys. So it was like December of 2021.
Now I'm going to have everybody do the little challenge here, because this is the proof's in the pudding a little bit. But you guys have, if you guys have concrete block supply. That's what you sell. Concrete block supply. So now I want everyone to go to Google right now, do a search for concrete block supply. And when you do that, I want everyone to click on your website there, concrete block supply. I want everyone to do it. So we're all going to go right now. We're going to Google concrete block supply. We're clicking enter. Boom. We find your website. We go to the website. Tell us, what are the things that you sell on this website? I don't think a lot of people know that what you sell is even a niche. What is it that you sell? Break it down for us. What is it that you actually sell?
Yeah, so we sell large concrete blocks. They have a multitude of names. People call them bin blocks, ecology blocks, mafia blocks, waste blocks, soldier blocks. What they are is large concrete blocks. They're usually like 6 feet long, 2 feet wide, 2 feet tall. And they come in a couple other variety of sizes, but they are a product that's made with leftover concrete. And people use them to build storage material bins, retaining walls, anchors for tents. You name it, you can come up with a come up with something for them to be used for.
Now, I'm kind of a sick freak where I get excited about these kinds of things. But when I do a search, I went online and I remember you're telling me about these eco blocks, and I'm thinking, eco blocks? How come I haven't heard about these ecology blocks? What's an ecology block? What is it? So I began researching it, and I discovered that what you said is true, that you guys are selling concrete, a lot of which is left over from construction, and it's somehow utilized or repackaged and then sold. Could you walk us through a little bit how that process works? Because when I first heard about unused concrete being used to put together ecology blocks, I was a little bit confused. Walk us through that
Yeah.
process. How does unused concrete become a block that you can then sell?
Yeah, for sure. So let's just say that you're, wanting to pour a patio at your house or a large slab or anything, and you order 10 yards of concrete. So the truck rolls out there, and you want to make sure that you have enough concrete, so you don't want to short it. So you pour your concrete, and then they have 2 yards of concrete left. And now they have this in the cement truck, and they're like, okay, what are we going to do this? We can go dump it out somewhere, or we can go back and we can put it in these forms and we can make blocks out of it. And so that's what happens is the excess concrete from jobs gets put into these forms. Or maybe someone's doing a highway job, big project, and something happens and they already batched up the concrete for this job, and they don't have a use for somewhere else for the concrete to go, so they dump it in the forms.
Now, so are concrete, are large, because I did poured concrete in high school. Are these large concrete companies that pour concrete, basements, foundations, these kind of things, are they running around in where they're actually keeping forms to make these standard size?
Usually goes back to the ready mix plant. The ready mix plant is usually who's doing it. There are a few companies that probably use the extra concrete themselves, but most of the time it's just going back to the ready mix plant.
And I'm not asking you to share about your financial numbers, but I think it's safe to say you've had exponential growth. Maybe that's a safe way to say it. You've had exponential growth. Is that a safe way to describe the growth that you've had there at Concrete Block Supply?
Yeah, we've done pretty well.
And so let's get into the nitty gritty for the entrepreneurs out there that are really wanting to dial in and figure out how they can turn their ideas into success. There's a 4-step plan I teach every single client, and then there's a lot of details that go into that. But step 1, we have to find a problem. How did you originally know, wow, there's a problem out there that I could solve? Like when did that occur to you where you're going, there's a problem, I can solve it, I got this, here we go. When did that initial idea that you could solve this problem come into your mind?
Yeah, working at the precast plant, it was something that customers would call us and ask for. My job was to grow the company, and so I was always looking to come up with new products or new ways to increase our sales. And when people were calling us for these products, I figured out a way to get it done.
So there's a problem. Step 2, there's a solution. You had to find the solution. You just mentioned it, but when you're sitting there talking to friends, family, people around you, are you sharing this idea with people to kind of get their idea whether they think you're nuts or not? Are you journaling?
Yeah. So
how did you kind of know you're stumbling upon an actual solution?
Well, we did it there for a couple of years locally, and then one day I thought, like, why are we doing this locally when I could roll this out nationwide? I talked to my wife about it. She was super nervous because I keep on quitting high-paying jobs to earn myself more time freedom. And she was like, oh, here we go again.
Now, this is big, though, because I have started and grown many successful companies, and I'll just give people an example. I'll switch gears just for a second. One of the businesses I'm involved with, we train dogs. That's what we do. And I wish it was a sexier industry. I wish I could say, oh man, we're revolutionizing the way that, people live their daily life. We're helping older people to live longer and healthier. We're not. We're training dogs. Now, when you train dogs, it does help improve the quality of life for the pet owner. But we've had to do a lot of core, repeatable, actionable processes to build this company. MakeYourDogEpic.com. We're now the highest rated and most reviewed dog training company in America. We continue to grow. But, again, step 1, we found a problem. Step 2, we had a solution. Step 3, we had to sell the solution. Eventually, we had to sell the solution. Eventually, and there's somebody watching today's show, and they have their idea, but they're not selling anything. And in my opinion, you just have a theory until you're doing some sales. Could you talk to us about the listeners out there? How did you first go about selling it, or when did you first go about, okay, I got a problem, I got a solution, now I'm going to actually sell something? Did you remember that moment or that kind of in your mind of when you first started selling the solution?
Yeah, I mean, at first when people were calling for that, because we made a variety of concrete products when I worked at the precast plant, and at first we were telling people no, and the owners were like, "That's what we, no," and I'm like, "All right, let's figure out how we can get it done." And so finally, I said, "Hold on a minute, let me get a proposal put together for you." So I worked out the solution of how to get those to the customer, put together a quote, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we just started going from there and expanding upon that.
So find a problem, find a solution. Step 3, you sell the solution. Step 4, you nail it and scale it. And again, we're not going to get into all the nitty gritty of all the things we're doing behind the scenes to do that. But that's kind of when you and I met, is when we were nailing it and we're scaling it and we're constantly refining it and tweaking it. Could you talk about the nailing it and scaling it part? What does that look like in your world once you start generating some sales and you're like, okay, I have to scale this up. We have to turn this into something that's going to employ many people, something that's going to be able to do multi-million dollars worth of transactions. What does the process look like of scaling a company?
Well, it's pretty boring. It's do the same, come up with your actions and do them repeatedly over and over again. I mean, it's, getting more content on your website, creating more content, getting more Google ads. And then it's coming up with scripts for your people, getting all that figured out. And then it's hiring people, training them, making sure that they are saying the right things, doing the right things, overcoming any problems that you see as you start to scale. Because at first it's just me doing it, and then it's teaching someone else how to do it. And then it's teaching another person how to do it and making sure everybody's doing the same thing. And I would talk to my coach that you guys assigned to me, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so boring." He's like, "Yeah, that's part of it. It's just doing the same thing over and over and over again." And it's like, okay, we've been doing this for almost 5 years now. And it's like, same thing every week.
And that's one of the things. I mean, we're going to interview the founder of Hobby Lobby here in a couple of weeks on our show, David Green. And for anybody out there that doesn't know, Hobby Lobby is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, it is a multi-billion-dollar company. And that's hobbylobby.com. That's the website, hobbylobby.com. For anybody that's not aware of that brand, Hobby Lobby, hobbylobby.com. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. You think about the success of that company. They're doing the same thing over and over. Another example, OxyFresh. This is a brand that I've worked with now for 18 years. We have over 500 locations, and we are doing the same thing over and over. And I always tell my clients, the greats bore down while most people struggle with boredom. So as I get into my stack of my final 5 questions for you, what do you do to keep yourself boring down and to keep yourself from struggling with boredom? Because I actually am a sick freak in that I enjoy stupid repetitive tasks that produce results. But a lot of my clients tell me, they're like, that's not normal, man. So how do you bore down?
Yeah, I am one of those people that don't enjoy it. It was fine for 1 or 2 years, and then it starts to get monotonous. I just make myself do it because I know like these are the steps that I need to do to make more sales, to grow the company, to build a moat. And so I just make myself do it. It's like I like the tracking sheet that we have for coaching. And so it makes me go through the numbers each week. And then on Wednesdays every week, I go through and get the content ready to get added to the website each week.
Now, my next question, I got 4 more here. This is big for somebody out there. The more and more you've attempted to sell this product, and again, folks, if you're watching this show and you've not gone to the website, if you're looking for a great time, you go, should I go onto Netflix and watch Happy Gilmore? Well, maybe you could do that. But for the ultimate time, you go to concreteblocksupply.com. That's where you go for a great time. But for people out there that, more and more people, you've run into more and more people that aren't familiar with what you do. And so over time, by default or osmosis or just through iterations, you start to develop almost like an elevator pitch or a quick, succinct way to explain what you do to people that don't know what you do. How would you now describe what you're doing at concreteblocksupply.com? Can you make sure the listeners out there, what is it? How would you describe what you do for people out there that are not familiar?
Yep. So we sell large concrete blocks nationwide. Simple as that.
Okay. Question number 3 of my 5 here. Who is your ideal and likely buyer? I mean, are you selling typically to, Joe Schmo down the street? Are you selling to municipalities? Are you selling to airports? Are you selling primarily to the Iranian government? I mean, who are you selling to primarily?
Construction companies mainly. They're working on some project, and the bin blocks are a portion of some other part of the project. Maybe they're doing a $5 million project, and we're going to do $2,000 of that, supply them some blocks so that they can either block some traffic off, hold something back, hold something down. And with the construction companies, usually we get paid up front. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is always get paid up front. When you work with the municipality, so many times they want to do net terms and just affects your cash flow. We will do it, but with the construction companies, we get paid up front, so they're our ideal and likely buyer.
Okay, now final 2 questions for you. For somebody out there watching today's show and they're going, I'm for whatever reason I found this show, and I think I am going to reach out to Concrete Block Supply because I am a construction company and I need the products. Why should everybody check out your company there, concreteblocksupply.com? There's a lot of great competitors out there, a lot of great companies, but you're becoming an industry leader. Why should everybody at least consider working with you and your team over there at concreteblocksupply.com?
Because we're going to get the job done whenever we say we're going to get it done. If we say we're going to get you the blocks this day and you need them for your project, we're going to get it done. We have a multitude of resources to get that done for you. We have more resources than anybody else, and we do what we say we're going to do. And we'll answer the phone if you call any of the regular hours.
Yeah, I was talking to a client today, true story, who I'll be meeting with here in just a little bit. And he was telling me, he's like, Clay, I am now making more money in a week than I used to make in a year. And this guy, I've worked with this guy for 10 years. And so we work together every single week. He and his coach work together every week to help him grow his company. But for people that are going to thrivetimeshow.com for the first time, and maybe they haven't scheduled a free 13-point assessment, they haven't ever had a coach. I know for me, I work with winnersking.com. By the way, folks, I don't make a commission, although I've asked. I work with the same attorneys year after year to make sure that my legal aspects of my company are not adrift. I work with CCK year after year. This is an accounting company in Tulsa. And by the way, I don't make a commission, although I've asked. That's CCK. Again, these are companies. I would love it if they paid me a commission, but I don't. CCK. And people say, well, why do you work with CCK, CPA.com year after year? I tell people because the process of growing a business is a lot like growing a garden. You have to plant the garden, yes, but every week you have to sow the seeds, you have to water the seeds, you have to pull the weeds. It's a process. It's not an event. What do you say to somebody out there that's not familiar with our business coaching platform and the things that we do for great clients like you? Could you maybe share about the impact that the business coaching has made on you and or your business, just for anybody out there that's not familiar with, when they're paying $1,700 a month for a business coach? I think some people out there are not familiar with the ecosystem, the conferences, and what we do for people like yourself.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it just holds you accountable, going through, making sure reviewing the numbers each week. I mean, on my spreadsheet, I have certain numbers I need to plug in. I have to go through them every week, add up how much money did we get, how much money did we spend, what our new sales were, what our closing percentages were. Did I get pictures added to each of my Google listings? Did I get my new content ready? So that part holding me accountable. And then 2, we've added, 10 pages of content to our website every week for years. That alone would be more expensive to pay somebody else. I talked to the individual that built our first website, and she was like, I'll do $500 for every new page. And, you can imagine how fast that would add up. And then, with you guys also doing the additional SEO, we pay for thousands of dollars a month for extra SEO. So those things right there, it always just seems like a great bang for my buck, and also holds me accountable to keep the company growing. Just anytime I have questions about something, I can bounce it off my business coach and get some ideas from him as well.
Have you been to one of our in-person workshops before?
I did go to one 3 years ago.
Did you laugh at all? Did you cry? Did you?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a very entertaining time, good time. The pizza was good, and I know there's a lot of good content and very high energy.
So what do you say to somebody out there that's maybe considering coming to one of our conferences or scheduling a free 13-point assessment for business coaching?
Yeah, give it a try. I mean, there's really no risk, and I think that's all upside. And like I said, I mean, the coaching, website updates, all the stuff that you guys do, huge bang for your buck right there.
Folks, if you're watching today's show and you don't hate yourself, I encourage you to head on over there right now. Head on over there right now to this website here. Again, we're going to go to the website. We're going to binblocksupply.com. What? Binblocksupply.com. I want you to check it out, and concreteblocksupply.com. I'm going to put links to both sites there. I want everybody to go. So everybody go there with me right now. Binblocksupply.com. Everybody go to binblocksupply.com. Again, this great company here, Luke and his team, they are providing their solutions for the who's who in America. Think about this. Love's, the gas station group there. Tesla, what? State Farm Stadium. I mean, the Colorado Rockies. I mean, you guys have provided quality products for so many great companies and organizations. That's binblocksupply.com. Also, check out that website, concreteblocksupply.com. Luke, I really do appreciate you, and I want to give you the final 30 seconds to share what's on your heart. For any aspiring entrepreneurs out there that are wanting to seize the day and turn their dreams into reality, what do you say?
Well, I really appreciate you having me. And I mean, I think like something that's important to me or on my heart would be just trying to bring up my employees. Like every week we read a book, not every week we read a book together, but read a book together to like, okay, well, you're making more money than you ever have. What should we be doing with that money? How can we grow the people? And it gets them invested in your company as well. So it's like, not just give people a chance to make some money and earn some commissions, but how can we grow them as people?
Amen to that. Luke, thank you so much, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Okay, Aaron Antis, guess who's joining us for the December 4th and 5th, 2025 Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop?
Whoa. Ooh, Santa Claus?
No, we will not be joined by Santa Claus, but we will be joined by Eric Trump, the son of the 45th and now 47th President of these United States. And yes, Amanda Grace will be in the place. And yes, Dr. Stella Manuel will be there, so you know it will go well. Yes, we have Mel K in the house. Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotson-Pillar will be hosting this event at their beautiful church right there in sunny Anaheim, California. Yes, folks, make this a December to remember.
He's fresh.
Make this a December to remember and join us at the 2-day interactive business growth workshops. For over 20 years, folks, I've been hosting business growth workshops where we're going to teach you marketing, sales systems, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, sales training, search engine optimization, accounting, workflow development, financial management, all this and more. How do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, how do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com and request tickets today. And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, and this just in from our home office, President Donald J. Trump is now the 47th president of these United States as well.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
He needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last pretty much since 2015. he's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now.
The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here with...
There's a lot of togetherness and closeness, camaraderie.
So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. In anybody. Don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and so to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard.
Yep.
And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch. And this is also your opportunity to meet some of the great speakers like Pastor Dave Scarlett. You can meet Mel Kay. You could meet Amanda Grace. You could meet Dr. Stella Emmanuel. You could just grab a coffee. You could find some alone time. You could get lost in the bathroom. You could try to go and get a photo with one of the speakers. You could try to photobomb a photo where someone else is getting a photo with the speakers. You could go attempt to find your phone, wallet, and your keys.
My phone, wallet, keys, yeah, phone, wallet, keys.
Whoa. Now that's a good idea.
Well, it's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to US Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business.
It's tough.
But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. I'm just no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. Whoa. Add to that, Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump organization. You say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch.
Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! Hey!
It's an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. Someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay, I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the event's going to be on December 4th and 5th in sunny Anaheim, California. Great weather. Make this a December to remember. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. I think that's going to change your life. I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right. Really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop in beautiful Anaheim, California.
I'm Kay Dixon. I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
I'm Vince Suzuki, also from Sarasota, Florida.
He dragged me here.
Yep, was here in 2018, and it changed my business, and I built another business, and now I'm here to do it again with this business. So.
Yeah, I'm a brand strategist, and it's been really easy to go to a lot of events like this and just leave really in your head like what to do next. And already there's the strategic, step-by-step, real-life implementation that we can do to our business. And I'm so grateful to be here and very excited that Eric Trump is here, and that is going to be epic.
my name is Erica, and it has been amazing being here. The conference, I'm learning so much. Everything is perfect for me.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him. Character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart. And I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good. And then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
Yeah. But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
Oh, he is. He is. Yeah. And it's for the folks that aren't familiar with you, and probably few and far between, I first came across you, gosh, probably 15 years ago, or maybe even